Have you ever wondered how your strength and conditioning measures up compared to the best grapplers on earth? Are you curious about what tests you should be using to measure your progress in the gym? Do you know what your individual weaknesses and priorities in the gym should be? If you replied yes to any of these, you're in luck, because I put together a free analysis tool for jiu-jitsu athletes that will help answer those questions for you. I'll tell you in a second how you can get your hands on it, but for now, let's remind ourselves of why it is we want to test for fitness in jiu-jitsu. Firstly, we want new information that we didn't have beforehand so that we can use it to inform our subsequent decision-making and training. Where you're strong, where you're weak, and what your program should be focusing on in order to address those weaknesses, in addition to helping you program intensities and loads for the various exercises that you're going to be using. Secondly, we want to give you an idea of how physically prepared you are for the level that you're going to be competing at. You want to make sure that you're at least in the ballpark of everyone else that you're going up against so that they're not able to exploit that physical weakness. Thirdly, we want to know if the program is working or not. Fourthly, we want to have something that we can chase and keep ourselves motivated with. And lastly, we want to measure our cock against our teammates, because nothing screams alpha like having the biggest bench in your friendship group. That's the why, now the what. What exercises or tests should we be using for our assessment? We want to be using exercises where there's a combination of lots of existing data amongst grapplers, where performance in those tests correlates well with the various levels that people compete at, and where there's a strong similarity between the movement characteristics of the test and important scenarios or skills in our sport. Here are the 8 tests that we use to assess athlete performance inside of the jiu-jitsu athlete analysis. They represent the combination of research, science, and real-world factors like accessibility and ease of use. Number 1 is body fat percentage. Leaner equals more muscle equals more strength and power for a given body weight. Number 2 is raw jump. How quickly can we express lower body force? Because it's not enough to be strong when you only have fractions of a second to apply force. Thirdly, back squat. When the time constraints disappear, which is pretty much everything once you get your hands on an opponent, force takes over. Fourth is bench press. Same reason, but for upper body pushing. Fifth is chin up for reps. Do I need to explain the value of an exercise where you're pulling shit towards you again and again in a sport where you're pulling shit towards you again and again? Number 6, gi hang for time. All the force in the world doesn't help unless you're able to transmit it to an opponent, and to do so round after round, often for an entire tournament. The point of that transmission is almost always the hands and fingers, so that's why we test this. Number 7 is sit-up reps for time. All force applied to the opponent originates first in the floor, and the torso is the crowbar of the body, transmitting that force between the lower and upper body and eventually to the hands like we just talked about. So the same rationale here as with the grip. Number 8 is the 6-minute test on the air dyne to infer VO2, because the more aerobically developed you are, the better your ability to repeat high-intensity efforts, the better your ability to recover between rounds, and the better your ability to accumulate high training loads and not break, which leads to a faster overall rate of progress in the gym and on the mats. Those are the 8 tests right there. If you would like to know how to execute them and how your performance in each of these areas compares to the best grapplers on earth, and how to interpret your own personal fitness profile and use this to inform your strength and conditioning, click the link in my bio and sign up for the free 30-minute presentation. Enjoy.